What's going on, everybody? My name is Stefan Hamann and welcome to my YouTube channel. And in this video, we are going to learn about the weird syntax of route.xml file. So if you notice that we have a very weird syntax where we are typing like dot slash, and there are some wildcard operators and wildcard syntax in simple or easy language, you can say, like asterisk. So what this is that mean, and we are going to see and how it is working. And after that, what we need to look. So we have an issue in our plugin, and that maybe some of you notice or some of you not. So we are going to fix this issue as well. And if we find some time, then we also see how we can add our custom JavaScript and CSS file for our plugin that will we can use on our template, and we can use our CSS classes and custom JavaScript function to make or make our DOM or make our front end look much interactive or much beautiful. And we are going to see that how we can do this in a very simple way. So don't go anywhere, stick with me, and without wasting any time, let's jump on my computer screen. So here, so all right, so as you can see my screen right now, so I hope that you are seeing my screen. So let me show you what we have where we are left. So as you can see, this is my screen, and similarly this is my Docker instance which is running now. This is my Docker exec command, and right now I am in container, so I can use any sort of terminal command or bin console, or or in more technical word we can say like CLI command, which stands for command line interface. So we can use here. If you want to see, we just need to type in slash console and hit enter. So there are a lot of commands that we can use. So but right now this is not our focus. So let me move to our focus. So the first thing that we are going to discuss is the weird syntax of route.xml. So if you notice that we have a file called route.xml, and the route.xml is kind of like a very strange file to me. So let me open this. So as I know that there are a lot of people who don't know the XML format, so maybe they can get some sort of trouble to understand the syntax. But for now, I just want to understand the very easy concept. I'm not going to explain this whole thing. I'm just going to explain this line number 7, as you can see. So let me start with so what that means. So this syntax is basically mean. So this syntax means that right now if you see that where is our file located. So our file is located is inside the config folder and resource source, and there is a whole hierarchy right now. So let's figure out everything and let's start from there. So let's solve this two puzzle. So maybe I remember that I explained this two in our previous video, but right now I am going to explain it in more and easy way. So let's start with this. So what this means? So let me copy this and go into the Google Chrome and just paste and mean in path. So let's find what that means. So here is the first link that I'm going to click, and there are some user. So basically they are explaining that someone is asking question, what does this weird symbol uh, means, or what that this means. So let's start with that. So you can see is the root directory of current drive, is the current directory, and is the parent of the current directory. So what this means? So let me go inside and terminal. So CLEAR, clear. So as I believe that you know this command. So if you type ls, so which I think which stand for list, so you can see some of the file are listed. but there are some other flags. So if we say ls dash l, so you can see that there are a lot of files, and the file is now showing some extra information like who is the owner, what is the file permission, the size, and the creation date and time, etc., etc. So similarly, we have something like ls-lh, or maybe we have ls-la, right? So let me clear this and type ls-la. So basically it's list and everything. So you can see that the first thing you can notice that there are two dots and one dots. So basically if you type two dots, so it refer to the previous directory. So for example, if I say cd dot dot, that means I want to go to the parent directory. So let me see, as you can see that, so let me clear it. As you can see that my current directory is changed now, is through this symbol. So let me type ls again, so you can see that I'm outside from html folder. And if I want to go inside the HTML, then I type to cd, which stands for change directory, and then I am again inside that folder. So this thing is just basically mean that we is the parent of the current directory, and these two dots represent that, and the dots represent the current directory, and the slash is the root of the current drive. All right. So this is the this is the meaning of this two slash, which is the parent directory. So this is a simple thing, and so a lot of people can easily understand it, and a lot of people are using that in their lives, this type of symbols. So now let's move to the other things. So what does this mean? So they are just telling that right now our file is located in the route.xml, located inside the config. So let's go outside the config, right? So we have the parent of this route is config, and the parent of this config, because we have two dot dot slash, so the parent of the config is just the resource. So right now we are inside the resource, then we need to move inside the storefront, storefront. Where the folder is storefront, you can see that there is a storefront, and inside the storefront we have a folder called controller. So there is a controller, and inside, now this part is very little tricky, so because as far as I know, some people can understand it or some people cannot. So let's discover this, what is this. So let me copy this and go inside the browser and search this. As far as I remember, that this thing basically mean. All right, so you can see that someone is asking what does this two star mean in the path. So let me see here. So this just basically means that it's called globe pattern, and this is the matcher. We just normally we use when normally we use this in shell script and the CLI to like grunt, but ignore this. This is a Node.js stuff. I don't want to focus on these words. I just want to focus on these two star, which means zero or more directories, but will never match the directory. So let's go and see that what this means. So this just basically mean that this star is called a wild card operator. That means anything that can be here. So what this means? So this slash path to the file and dot slash dot js means match any number of directories between path to the file and dot js to oppose, which matches a single directory between JS and star.js. So let me click on the globe pattern. So maybe we can find some more info. So maybe I can find some easily or some easy example, so where I can show you that how you can do this. So I think this is a little hard example, so let me find some easy example for you. Or I think it's much better if I show you the real example. So let me go here and go here. So basically, what this syntax means: all the file with the extension .js from here onward. So basically, this will search the all the files in the folder and its subfolder. So maybe it is confusing you. So let me show you an example. So right now you can see that we are just saying controller, and after that this folder name controller, we don't specify any folder, right? So you can see we don't specify any folder, we just say star. So star means anything, and star slash means any subfolder, and this star means the anything with anything between this controller.php. So the controller.php is now a postfix of the file. So this is the meaning. So I'm going to give you an example right now so you can easily understand that. So what I want, I just want to go and create a new directory here called directory, and let me call it test, right? This is a test directory, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to move this controller inside this controller, because as far as we understand that this controller or this syntax will automatically look inside the subfolder as well for the postfix file that have controller.php, right? So this is a subfolder of controller, and this file has a postfix of controller.php. So that means this controller or this whole statement will also look inside this folder. So let me open this file. The first thing that we need to fix in this file, because as you know that we have modified our folder structure, so we also need to fix our namespace as well, right? So let me let me stop. I will upload it, but I just want to show you something else. So this is done. So we just fix the namespace issue, and what the other thing that we need to fix is inside the config XML inside the service. So as you can see that we are registering our service, and you say we are adding a path for our job controller. So but right now it is showing us a green red line, which means that this path or this controller is not exist, and this is right because now the now our controller is inside the test folder, right? So I'm going to upload this file, right? And as you see that I didn't change the route.xml yet, and I'm not going to change it. What I want going to do is just I'm go inside this folder, inside the storefront, inside the controller, and I'm going to delete this controller from the server, so I can show you that everything is working. So now I'm going to upload this test folder to the server, and now you can see that we have a test folder on the server, and we didn't change the route.xml file. So I'm just closing it, so in case you will see that I'm not changing anything inside that. So we have just changed two files so far. So the first thing is the service.xml, because we have specified the ID of the service, and which is changed because we have changed the folder structure, so we need to fix it, and we just change the namespace. And if we are right and we understand this weird syntax completely in correct way, so this will work. So let me go here and let me clear the cache and go inside our view, and let me load this view. It is loading right now, right? So it's load, and it's mean everything is working, but the real test will we are going to test on this localhost jobs. So you can see that this is working now. We have changed the directory. We didn't change the our route.xml file. And if you want, I can show you that. You can see inside the resource config route.xml is still same. And if you want to see the route.xml of server, I can also show you inside the config, inside the route.xml. So this is a server file. You can see the syntax of this file. So this is the meaning of this whole weird syntax. So basically, if we want to add more controllers, so we are not going to add any other line inside this file. So this entire line will easily look up for every controller that we are going to create. It doesn't matter that we have a nested folder or not. So it will also automatically look inside the folder. So this is the whole purpose of this weird syntax. So I hope that I explain in everything in detail. So let me go and roll back everything because I don't like this test folder name. So let me delete this and let me upload this, and I'm going to change this prefix as well. And what the next thing that I want to do is just move the file. Yes. Now the test folder is empty. So I'm going to delete this folder. Delete. Yes. And now the file should have a right space namespace. So I'm going to delete this folder from server as well. Now we have only controller, and I'm going to upload this file. And let me refresh this. I hope that everything will work, because in programming we cannot trust on the right code sometimes. Yes, so everything is working now. So we have get back where we left on our last video, and we have understand the route.xml. Yes, route.xml via syntax. So the next thing that this is a issue, or this is a problem with our plugin right now. So if you notice or not, so let me show you that. If I move to the home page or any other sibling page, so you can see that we can easily access, or our site is have some sort of navigation here and some data here. But when we move to our custom page, you can see that we don't have uh, any navigation here. So what is this means, and what is why we are facing this issue? And if we go here inside our controller, let me open my controller. We have giving our custom Twig template, and if I just show you the our resource and inside the views, and this is our template. So we have extend our template with the base template. So why is this not working? Let's understand this in deeply. So the issue is, if you go and see this file, so this is the file that we are referencing. So this file located inside the vendor, and inside the vendor we have a shopware, storefront, resource, views. You can see there is a path highlighting when I'm hovering it, so you can easily read this. So there is our file. So why our navigation is missing some data? So let me show you that what this means. So you can see that here on line number 44 we have extending a template called twig, uh, uh, navigation.html.twig. So this is the file that is using. So let me open this file. So you can see that we have a hierarchy, resources, and this is our file. And let me open the navigation.html file. So what is happening here? You can see that it is checking a lot of conditioning, and it is rendering some sort of data inside this. So I just want you to focus on this. You can see that on line number 28 it is referencing a variable which is called product page, and inside the project page it is accessing the product. So and there are a lot of other variables, like you can see that category, and there are a lot of variables that this whole navigation is accessing or using in simple word, but we are not providing it right now. So if you see our controller, we are just using this dot render storefront function, and we are just telling render this whole template, but we are not providing data. So the next topic that I'm going to discuss is how we can pass some data to the template. So let's start with some basic example. So I'm going to close this base.html.twig because it's a core file and we are not going to modify any core file in this whole series. So this is our file, which is job.html.twig. So what I want, I'm going to show you that how you can pass your own data to your own HTML or you can say like Twig file. So if you go here and click on this function, so basically we are extending a class storefront controller. Inside the storefront controller, we have a function called render storefront, which take a view, and the next thing that he take from us is the parameter. The parameter is just in simple word, it's just a data that we want to send to the our template. So let me give you a quick example. So let me add a comma here, and this is because as you can see inside the function, he wants the parameter array. So I am going to give it an array. So let me click here, and this is our array. And let me show you the docs quickly. So inside the doc, you can easily see that they are also sending. By the way, right now, the section that I am in currently right now, you can see inside the guides. Inside the guides, we have a plugin. Inside the plugin, we have a storefront. Inside the storefront, we have add custom controller there, and this is the same guide that we use earlier in our tutorial or in our previous video. So you can see that they are sending an example, and which means hello world. And if you go inside their template, so maybe they are going to use it or not. So right now they are not using it, but we are going to see that how it's look like. So there is our we can pass our data. So and this need to be an associative array, I guess. So or maybe you can pass the index array as well, but it doesn't matter. So let me go and create a new value inside our array. We say like heading, and heading would be equal to not this, and this is an associative array that I am using right now. And let me copy this and paste this here, and let me upload this and right here. So this is the function that you can use inside the Twig template. It is used for debugging purpose. So the I just upload this function here, and I'm going to close this right now. So so far we just pass an array with the key of heading, and the key heading contains some text is welcome to job page. And I'm going to refresh the page. Maybe you can see, or maybe you not, but we don't need to refresh or clear the cache. So I just refresh the page, and you can see that there is everything. So let me show you that where is our data. So if you can see here, this is our data. So this is by the way, this is the debugger is working. So let me go here, and you can see that this is I want to show you. This is our heading, and this is the welcome to job page. And if you want to change this, so basically you just need to change. Let me change the heading capital, and a welcome to the job. Welcome to our store job page. We can type anything. we want. So I just refresh the page and you can see that our heading text is changed. So how we can use this heading inside our Twig template? So it's very easy. So we just need to add this or we just need to type heading, and I think that this will work. Let's go and see. So right now the welcome to heading is welcome to the job page, but as soon I am as soon the page will refresh, the heading will change to welcome to our store job page. So let me refresh this page and you can see that the heading is no longer here. So that means we are doing something wrong. So I think I just add some extra bracket here. No, the bracket is right, I guess. So let me quickly see. So if you want to see, there are two methods. The easy way you can go inside the Twig template or Twig documentation to see how you can echo or show the variables. And the other thing that we can use is just simply go inside some templates, and inside the template we can see how they are using or displaying the variables. So you can see that here they are using a variable called name and everything is working fine. So why our uh, this line number 5 code is not working? So let me add the bracket again. But why it is not working? So the reason is that we change the heading or the key of this heading is the H is now capital. So in order to access that variable, we also need to use our heading H capital because it's the key, and if you are using the wrong key, so you will not able to get the data. So you can see that as soon I just fix the heading here, so we are accessing our heading, and this is our heading. This is coming from our controller, so we can manage this from here. Welcome to our job page, or welcome to our job page would be good, I guess. Or maybe we can say like demo store jobs. Maybe this would be much good and cleaner. All right, so this is what I want. So let me go and fix this issue. So I'm going to remove this dump here so we can easily see that everything is working. All right, so we know how we can send data to the view, but the problem is that the data that this navigation is using, and the navigation is using a variable called like page or category, and there are a lot of variables that a page can use. It's not there or it's not present on our custom page. So we need to find those data and pass that data to our page or our custom page. So there are two methods. So the first method that I am going to show you is easy, and the other method you can find here. So when you completely scroll down to the page of the documentation, you can see that they are letting you know that since you already created a controller now, which is also part of creating so-called page in Shopware, you might want to head over to our guide about creating a page. So what this guide about? So this guide will show you that how you can completely or in a proper way uh, in a Shopware that Shopware is using right now in their core system, how you can add a page using using the Shopware structure or using your plugin. how you can do this. So in order to do this, you need to create a couple of files. You can see that this is example controller. So we are done with this. So you need a page loader class, and you need a this is a controller. You need another class is called example page, and the next class is page loaded event. So there are total three classes that you need to going to create this. And they are saying that in your load method you have to use the generic page loader, which take care of such thing as the footer or header. And those two are so-called pagelets, basically reusable fraction of the page. Learn how to create a custom way. So basically they are saying that you can use the generic page loader event in order to solve this problem. So what I want right now is just uh, use the or I just want to get that data and pass that data to from our this thing or our controller to our view. And I'm going to do this in my way, or maybe right now it's an easy way. In the future I will cover this thing as well, but right now I think if I go to do this thing, so it will be much it will be more complicated. So let me go and start quickly, because I think I'm talking too much and not showing you how to code. So let me show you something. So the first thing that we are going to do is close every file, because I don't like that every file is opening, and this will confuse sometimes a lot of people, or maybe just me. So I'm going to again start from uh, here, and let me go and explain that what we are going to do. So basically what I want is just mm, all right. So right, so now, so what I want to do, I want to find the data, I want to upload that data on this or I want to not upload, I just want to find that data, grab that data, and pass that data to our view. So in order to do this, we need to first open our controller, and as well we need our file called service.xml. So these are the two files that we are going to work on. So let's start from this controller. So the first thing that as I show you that we need to use the generic page loader. So where we can find it. So if you go here and see that inside the vendor we have a folder called Shopware, where our Shopware is located. So this is the structure that we are seeing right now. So we need generic page loader. So the Shopware use a hierarchy that storefront and then page. Like we have a inside storefront we have a controller. So this is the same structure that normally we use inside our plugin. So this is how it's work. So we need to go inside the page, and inside the page you can see that there are every page that we've seen so far, like account, address, checkout, landing page, maintenance, navigation, product, and lots of other pages. So here you can see that we have a generic page load event. So if you open this generic page load or loader, you can see that uh, this is a file that says do some criteria and dispatch an event on the line 128 is the generic page loader event. So it's just basically an event, and this contain what kind of data this file contain. So you can see that inside the container, inside the constructor, not container. Inside the console, you can see there is a header page loader interface, footer, system config, abstract payment method, shipping method, and event dispatcher interface. So there are a lot of things that this generic page loader will give or will give us when we use this in our uh, plugin. So let me go inside our plugin. So the first thing that I want to do is just use this uh, thing or this class inside our controller. So you can see that this is the same location that I show you earlier, and this is the our generic page loader interface. The next thing that we want is the sale channel context. So this basically gives the context and where we are coming from like this. This is our sale channel context. And let me cut this here. Normally, if you want to know what I do, normally I do like this. So I like namespace in like this way, this one, then Control X, Control V, and the second, and so I like every namespace in this format. I don't know why I do this, but it's kind of like stairs. You can see that there is a gap. So it's not a necessary, it's just for my satisfaction. So ignore this stuff. So so far we just use two things, sale channel context or generic page loader interface. What how we can use it and how we can get data from it. So let's work on that. So the first thing that I want to do is just uh, create a variable here called generic page loader interface, same like this. And now I am going to call this generic page loader. So this is a private variable. So only this class can use this. So the next thing that I'm going to create is called a constructor. So public function underscore constructor. It's a magic function in PHP. So what I want to do is just copy from there and paste here. So we are just doing some dependency injection here. And the next thing that I want to do is the dollar this uh, generic page loader. You can select from there equal to dollar generic page loader. So what we are doing here, we are just doing dependency injection. As you can see that right now in our this class is change its color to white, and previously it's showing like this dull color like gray. So why it is doing that? Now this class is using, so we have just create a variable, and this variable, the name of the variable, you can say like the dollar generic page loader, and this will accept the generic page loader interface. So when our constructor run, this will load the generic page loader and assign this its value to our generic page loader. So now we can whenever we want, we can just use dollar this generic page loader, and we can easily access this. So this is how it's work. So the next thing that I want to do here is just how we can access the data from this generic loader. So simply, so let's call dollar page, right? And I'm going to say dollar this, and you can say it's giving me suggestion the generic page loader, and I just want to call a method load, and what I want to load. So I want two things. I want a request object. So right now we don't have a request. So let me go here from the off side of the screen and copy here and just paste this. So if you notice there's this is a Symfony component attribute foundation request, and there is also another thing called response that we use earlier. Not we use earlier, we just remove in earlier video because we are no longer using it. If you want to find this, you can easily find this uh, at custom page section. You can see that there is our response, and if you scroll down a little bit, you can find the generic page loader interface. You can find the sales channel context that we have using, and this is the same thing that we are doing right now. And if you want in more detail, so you can see that they are passing the request. So there is our request, and there is a sales channel context, and we have already using here sales channel context. So let me go and copy this here, copy this here, and what I want. So basically I want to access. So again, I'm doing some dependency injection here. So use the request, and the next thing that I want to call is response. So it just basically response type. So let me copy this from here. So this will return the response, and you can see that the parameter is value is not used. So that's why we are seeing a green line. If we are seeing the red line, which means that there is some sort of issue with the path. But right now our plugin can access this file, but we are not using it. So that's why it's showing this green line here. So how we can use this? So if you see the our documentation, so you can see adding creating a example controller, and you scroll a bit, you can see that they are calling a function. This is the generic page and load, and they are passing the simply request and context. So similarly, we just need to do the same thing here and add this, and this will do the rest of our work that we want to do, I guess. And the next thing that we want is upload this file uh, to the server. So this is how we can upload the file. My file is uploaded, but if I run this code, this will throw me an error. Why? Because we are using a constructor, and inside the constructor we use a class generic page loader interface, but we didn't tell or didn't let our service.xml file that we are going to use it. So similarly, if you see here inside the service.xml, they are just telling that we are going to need the argument, and the argument is just basically the thing that we use inside the controller. So we have used just only one uh, argument. So whenever we use this argument, so that's mean if I using this argument, so this argument will get inside this constructor, so we can access this from here, and then we can assign this to this dollar this the generic page loader variable. So this is that's why it's a compulsory thing. So let me upload this as well, and let me close this generic page loader right now. Let me upload this as well. And the next thing that I want, for example, if I go and show you and refresh this, this will not solve any problem yet. Why? Because we have the data, but we didn't pass to the view. So let me show you the what kind of data we had. So now we can do some PHP side debugging. Before, the function that I use dump is used in Twig, but the dd function is used in the .php file. So right now I'm going to refresh this, and you can see that now we have access to the header data, and the header data has like currency, active currency, navigation inside the tree. We have some sort of like categories, inside children, item, and there are a lot of data. I cannot show you everything. Like there is a category called woman, and every data that we need right now is available inside this page, and uh, we can easily use the generic page loader in order to get this data. And I show you every step. So the next thing that I want is just I want to pass this data to the view. So how I can do this? Because I show you that the key of this uh, the file that we are using, the Twig file that we are extending is the key is using the key called page. And if I say like X and ABCD, it will not work because it is accepting a key called page, and this dollar page is a value. We can name it anything, but we cannot rename the key. So we need to use the same key as well. So that's why I'm using a page here. So yes, if you have any question that it is compulsory to use this variable name or this key name, so yes, it is compulsory. You can change this variable like dollar page, you can change it to dollar p, it doesn't matter, but this page key matters. So let me upload this and refresh this. So all right, so this is what I want to show you, that as you can see that we can access everything now. So our store is working perfectly, our data is coming from our controller, we can easily access our navigation. If you go back, we can have access to the navigation. If we go inside the jobs page, we can still access the our uh, navigation here. So this is what I want to show you inside this video. I think this video is quite long right now. So the next thing that I want to show you, that how you can add your custom CSS and custom JavaScript inside the file. So I can remove this stuff. Let me show you what I want. So right now I'm using some inline CSS. I'm using view storefront page. So right now I'm using some inline CSS. So I want to replace it from a class. So I can do this. And for example, if I want when someone click on this job, so it will show us some sort of pop-up. So this thing can done by JavaScript. So that's why I want to hook the CSS and JavaScript in the next video, I guess. So till then, I think that I explained everything correctly. If you have any question, so feel free to ask. I will try to explain everything if I know. So uh, I think it's time to say goodbye. Bye bye. Peace.